I think even affiliate managers don't get to see how much extra value they're providing. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you see an affiliate who's driving you 50% more revenue a month afterwards, you can pay that affiliate a lot more. And we all know that the more you can pay affiliates for quality, the more they can scale.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast brought to you by AffyVerseMedia.com, the chapter and verse of everything you need to know about running a successful affiliate program for your business. Now, here's your award-winning affiliate and performance marketing host, an industry veteran, your affiliate marketing guide, and the founder of Affyverse, Leanne Johnston.
Welcome back to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. And folks, this is our 21st season. And what a whopper we have in store for you. This is the show that brings you insights, strategies, and expert discussions from the world of affiliate and performance marketing. In this season, which is brought to you by our sponsors, Everflow.io, we're going to be exploring why affiliate delivers far more than momentary revenue for your business. We'll be diving behind closed doors, talking to brands and practitioners who understand the value of the channel and are going to help you explain this upward too. We're sharing insights, case studies, and giving you practical tips on how to leverage affiliate and performance marketing for your brand. But before we do, let's dive into the story behind the theme for this season as I invite our sponsors to dish the goods and give you a sneak peek on what's coming up next. Welcome to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, your host, Leanne Johnston, and I'm super excited because we are kicking off season 21 of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. And joining me today is Michael Cole from Everflow.io. It's a pleasure to have you on the mic, Michael.
It's lovely to be here.
And we're going to be talking a little bit as an intro, just to give everybody a bit of a flavor of what's coming up in this season, because it's going to go deep, it's going to go hard, it's going to go behind the scenes, it's going to be practical and tactical. And I thought before we kick off with all of the wonderful guests and content discussions that we're going to be having in this season, it would be nice for people to just get a little bit of an insight into who Everflow is, a little bit about what you guys do, and also a little bit more about you, Michael. So I'm going to let you take the mic and just tell everybody a little bit about Everflow.
Let's see. So before Everflow, we're a partner marketing platform. The way to think about us is that we're quite a bit different than, say, the affiliate networks out there, and that we are truly like a tech solution for you to manage your own partnerships, whether those are traditional affiliates, influencers, agencies, referral partners, etc., and the ability to have tracking and attribution for all other performance marketing channels. So that's like organic paid ads. And by having everything in the same place, speaking the same lens, or like being seen through the same lens, it helps break down the sort of silos that sort of keep affiliate marketing from really getting the limelight. And I think with this entire season, like what we really want to talk about is sort of like all the extra value coming from affiliate marketing that is kind of being swept under the rug or just not being appreciated. And I think the last thing I'll say on this too is that on top of all this tracking and attribution, like we understand at the end of the day, like if you're not making more money, all of the great bells and whistles don't matter. So we also really help with just making sure you find that next source of revenue through our marketplace. So you see that results right away. And then you have all of this extra data and revenue and everything else that builds on top of it.
When we were talking about planning the season, we had a really interesting discussion about the fact that affiliate isn't just about momentary sales. So explain a little bit about what has led you to develop this season with us here at Affyverse and why you wanted to do it over a seasonal sponsorship with multiple guests coming in to actually tell the story. I think it's important to set the scene for the story before we get into the actual series episodes.
Yeah, it's interesting to get there because it reflects sort of where our head was at with the company as we went along. So we started in the very early days solving for the mobile use case. Because a lot of the mobile affiliate networks, they need a platform to use, so used Everflow. And when you talk about mobile, mobile's really focused on usually an app install and then some actions that happen after that. Like, did they come back for the first day into the app? Did they purchase or deposit in the app? Did they do 7 days? So that idea of looking at all of these events was something we built from day one. And then internally, we actually use Everflow ourselves. So we have put a lot of thought into sort of like what we need to track. And what we find is that you want to look at the entire journey around all your traffic, which is, did they drive engagement? did they go to your pricing page? Did they go to your, say, like platform pages, et cetera? Like we look at all that data. Then you have, did they sign up for a demo? Did they make it to like a approved lead? Did they make it to a customer? And then did they renew for another year or upgrade? So we started looking for ourselves at all of these different stages. And what we realized is like, this is sort of the frustrating missing piece. I came from an affiliate marketing agency, so I know this very well, is that there's a lot of missing pieces. Like one, content influencer in a traditional program is often very much undercounted because they drive new users that are exploring, discovering a brand for the first time. And those users are not ready to buy today. And then they come back a week or two later through a coupon or a paid ad, et cetera. And you undercount all of these like top of funnel demand generators. Whereas if you actually look at like the engagement they're driving, they look completely different than say like a paid ad. Like those are users who are becoming like fans, but they're in the early stages and they're not ready to buy. So that looking at that beginning part naturally made sense because there's a lot of like interesting affiliate channels that you miss without looking at that way. And then on the other side, I mean, when we look through the data, it's like 30 to 70% more revenue on top of the purchase or lead if you start looking at what happens afterwards. So there's so much repeat revenue coming from these like higher value affiliates and publishers that is being missed. And all this matters because like anyone who's been in affiliate marketing knows how underappreciated affiliate marketing gets because they're just looked at cost-effective performance, which obviously is great. That's why it's a huge market. But it means that they don't get the prestige of how much extra value they bring to brands.
I know your marketing team is really hot on tracking. And I know that you track everything before, what happens before the campaigns or the webinars or whatever you're doing are tracked. And then you also track for the lifetime after. And I think that's something that the industry is so hung up about because the majority of brands still track on last click and attribution is constantly being kind of recycled as a hot topic discussion in the industry. Nobody really has that story because they're not able to track within, networks and SaaS solutions that they're using effectively the beginning, the middle, and the end. We're kind of always just looking at the middle bit, the bit that, or the end bit, should I say, the bit when the person clicks and purchases, but we don't actually look at how that affiliate attributes lifetime over, the longer period. So I think that's going to be really interesting to dig into. And hopefully we're going to have some really interesting guests come and join us and talk about some of the case studies and the things that you guys are seeing. And this is really going to be a season about numbers. It's going to be a season about actually having the conversation, understanding the methodologies that are going behind why tracking is so important, and then also having a look at how the numbers are impacting the businesses and the guests and the people that we're bringing in on the next season's episode suite. So what do you think brands are currently getting wrong when they view affiliate just as a one-time transaction? Because that is a historical, habitual kind of attitude towards performance and towards the affiliate chat. I hate to say channel because it's kind of like a payment method now, but what do you think are some of the things that brands are getting wrong and some of the myths and the things that we're going to bust in the season coming up next?
Yeah, so I think there's a few different big challenges. So one of them, like, it's really hard when you're an affiliate marketer if you're very siloed within your company and you're speaking a different language than everyone else in your company, because no matter how successful affiliate is at just driving a purchase, if you're looking at one analytics and your VP of marketing is looking at another analytics and your paid media person's looking at that analytics, guess what? The one where most people are looking gets credit over you. So no matter how much value you're getting there, there's a real mismatch there. So I think that's one big piece is how do you tell your story internally to stop being it just purely about that single purchase is a big part of it. And I mean, that one in itself is extremely challenging because again, unless you have some additional data to share, it's really hard for them to understand why they should care when they spend so much money on paid media and they have so little to show for it. They really need to justify that channel. So it's always been a part of it. So I think that's one big piece is just sort of like, what can you do to tell a bigger story about sort of the total performance? And this is why, like, I think looking at what happens after the purchase is just so important because, I mean, we saw this for a long time with like strategic partnerships and referral partnerships, is that a referral partner lead to Everflow converts at something like 3.4 times higher. They go up our pricing tiers much faster because they start doing a ton of payout. They start growing their program really fast because they know what they're doing. They tend to be industry vetted, and they're coming in with trust from that partner. So that's a very like B2B partnership case. But the reason I mentioned that is, again, like customer, you might have a customer from A or B and they look the same at that moment. But if you look at like 2 months down the line, they look completely different. And a lot of different affiliate and publishers, like affiliate type publishers, are actually adding a lot of value of like narrative and like understanding sort of like how to use this product or the trust of it coming from an influencer, et cetera. So what that user does after they purchase is completely different, and they tend to be much more of a repeat customer than someone who was just paid media, wanted a shirt today, bought a shirt. They're not loyal.
The other thing as well is that the reason why effective tracking is required is because on the surface, like you said, if you're only looking at a snapshot in time and you think, wow, this, and I actually literally had this conversation with a client today, which is why I bring it up. They were looking at their stats and they were seeing they were working with a couple of sub networks, and everything in its own time and its own place. I'm a big believer that, you need to have that, kind of granular segmentation, especially when your program's really big. But what they weren't doing is checking how all of that traffic was coming in through these blind networks. And I was like, yeah, it's great that you're getting it on the performance basis in the affiliate program, but how is it impacting your paid? How's it impacting your influencer relationships? Is there actual incremental value happening here, or is it just looking great because you're only looking at your snapshot? And that storytelling that you were talking about is probably one of the biggest things that affiliate managers have to kind of overcome and leverage, especially when they move into more senior positions. So when you're an account manager and you're just working with your portfolio and you don't have to report back to the C-suite, it's okay. But then that flip from going to a senior role to a like head of acquisition role, you need to be able to tell those stories. And in order to tell those stories, you need to have the data. And you need to be looking at a bigger snapshot than just the data piece that's responsible for your kind of budget remit. You need to be looking at how does it impact the rest of the business. And that means building solid relationships and understanding the flow of the customer journey. And so we're going to be talking about all of those things. So if you guys are tuning in and you're listening to what's coming up next on the next episode and series, we're going to be talking about all of these really difficult conversations that people need to learn how to have and feed back to the C-level suite. Because you're right, affiliate marketing does come under fire. There's a lot of compliance, a lot of regulation, a lot of people talking about fraud. And the word fraud really does get bandied around a lot in our industry. It's almost like a scare tactic. But the truth is that if you are running a well-run affiliate program and you have the data to prove out where your value is coming from and the partners that can actually deliver it, affiliate is more than just a moment in time. It becomes a story that actually propels your business forward across multiple different channels, because it isn't a channel anymore. And I think you guys have got loads of data and case studies to prove that out, because you're working with lots of different types of clients, from the kind of like simple or less complex kind of like B2B, where there's a straight kind of customer journey into the platform, to, really complex e-commerce brands that have got multiple products, stacks and SKUs and different promotions and offers and discounts that are happening all the time. So I think it's important that in this season, we kind of give people a snapshot of, where the opportunities are lying, and not just talking about the problems, but talking about like showcase and telling where the solutions are coming in to tell this story longer term. So we've got an incredible lineup of guests, but we are not going to tell you who they are just yet, because this is just a teaser to whet your appetite about what the story for the next season is going to be. I think we've sort of covered quite a lot about the different types of conversations that we're going to be having, from the kind of factual, tactical things that people need to be doing in making sure that they have these data stories ready and what that looks like and how to implement it. But also, I think we're going to talk a lot about case studies and things that you can take away. So we really, both of us, when we started planning this season, really wanted to make this tactical. So we have a lot of content out there in the world that talks about what you should be doing and what you could be doing, but never showing you how to actually implement it into your program. So that's the bit that I'm really excited about. What do you think the big takeaway for people are going to be in this season? Like, why are you like excited to be kind of bringing this season to people?
I think even affiliate managers don't get to see how much extra value they're providing. And I think that's the biggest thing, because when you have an affiliate program and you're growing it, you're always going to hit these points of some weeks, nothing's changed. It's just going. And in those weeks, the ability to have the sort of transparency into what's really driving results, what's very interesting in terms of engagement matters. and tracking beyond that and seeing what happens after the customer and like being able to report, hey, my goal for this month was, or for this year was this amount of money, but now I'm doing 30% more just literally because I'm tracking that extra value and showing how it's different than the other channels. That makes a huge difference. Like that makes you hit your goals today. And again, the more you track in revenue really matters in affiliate more than anything. Like it really humps you internally, but more, if you see an affiliate who's driving you 50% more revenue a month afterwards, you can pay that affiliate a lot more. And we all know that the more you can pay affiliates for quality, the more they can scale. So it really helps you align payments and payouts with your affiliates. It makes you look a lot better. And again, it opens the conversation beyond just, am I driving enough sales to make my bosses happy? It's like, I am driving the future growth of this company because the customers that come from this influencer, from this publication, are driving people that will repeat, that will tell other people, that will create a word of mouth engine. Like there's so much added value, and you just need the tools to see that, and you need to be able to report up about how much extra value is coming.
And I love that because, you know, a lot of affiliate managers, they get kind of down in the doldrums because they don't have access to some of this data and they can't actually see the future results of the work that they're doing today, because we live very much in a performance-led world. It's like, I run a campaign, I need to see how that campaign backed out. What was the ROI? Right, do it again. And so I really want people to listen to the speakers that we've brought together to really understand why we're sharing this narrative in this next season, because there is such a need for education in our industry, both at the affiliate, at the practitioner level, but also at the C-suite above. You know, it's, to this day, 20 years later, affiliate is still very much siloed away from all of the other digital marketing channels. Us that work in the industry understand it and, you know, love it and believe in it. We're believers, but getting that story told to somebody else and also making the value add that it's not just about today, it's about what happens in 5 years from now, because a lot of businesses have long client tenures too. So I really want to kind of like uplift people with this season and kind of show and tell the stories that you guys are already seeing within your platform, because you're helping so many clients and businesses and agencies track all of this data and actually tell that narrative. So what's one thing that you're excited about to actually leave our audience with this week as we head into this new season and bring all of these wonderful people forward to actually tell these stories?
Yeah, I think there's another part of it that's just really interesting. So we did a case study with Unlock and Vibrant agency, and they're doing a home equity loan type product, which is complicated. It takes I don't know, months and months to go from someone starting to someone actually getting the home equity loan. And what's really, or home equity financing, sorry, it's not a loan because it's part of your equity. But what was really interesting about it was that they tracked all of the event stages from starting to request this to being approved to actually submitting all the paperwork, et cetera. And knowing what worked well was useful, but they also would educate their affiliates on what didn't work. These sources, these are all being rejected. Please just focus on the ones that drive value and turn off those ones. And that helped their affiliates be successful so much more. So there's another part of this, which is letting your affiliates get rewarded for their best stuff, but also they don't know what isn't the right fit for your product, which of their audiences don't fit. So if you educate them on that side, they can save so much of their time, and affiliates love not wasting their time and making more money. So anything you could do to help them there, it's a virtuous cycle on that side.
Yeah. All right. So we kind of have delved deep into what this next season's going to offer. We have given you a sneak peek on what's coming and the subject matters that we're going to be educating you on this next season. What's one takeaway or one promise that you want to make to people listening to this introductory episode for the season that's coming up next, that Everflow is obviously invested in delivering with us?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing will just be understanding how valuable it is to look beyond the purchaser lead. That's pretty much the entire takeaway. And just this affects your bottom line as the affiliate manager at a company, just because the revenue is already there and you're just not getting credit for it.
I love it. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap up this introductory episode. We are thrilled to bring you the next couple of episodes as we move into the season with Everflow. Michael, it's always a pleasure to have you on the mic. Thank you so much for sharing some of the insights and just giving our audience a little bit of a taste of what's coming up next in season 21 of the Affiliate Marketing Podcasts. It's always great to have you here with me. And thank you so much for joining me today.
It's always lovely. Thank you.
The Elevate Summit 2025 is here. Just join us on July 15th and 16th for the premier affiliate and digital marketing event this summer. This year, we're focusing on traffic, where innovation meets inspiration, and we're helping SME brands and affiliates to scale. Elevate is more than just another summit or affiliate conference. It's a transformative experience designed by industry veterans for those ready to embrace the future of performance marketing to grow their businesses. Connect with forward thinkers, affiliate pioneers, SaaS tools, and decision makers as you engage with cutting-edge strategies, immersive masterclasses, and strategic networking opportunities. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a budding SME entrepreneur, Elevate offers insights, tools, and connections to revolutionize your approach to bringing more sales into your business. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this dynamic community. Visit affiversemedia.com, click the Elevate button, and book your conference ticket to find out about our sponsorship and speaker opportunities today.
Do you have a question that you want answered? We will give you a shout out and get your question answered live on the show. Click the Ask Your Question link in the show notes and ask away.